We're going to be walking through how to add a closet rod hanger to a room that doesn't have it. So in this case, I've got this space here and we want to put a closet rod so that we can start hanging clothes in this little space. And so the very first step is to figure out where your studs are located on your wall. And so I use this stud finder and it lights up as I scan across the drywall to tell me that I've got a stud right here. And I also have a stud right there and there. And so once I know where my studs are located, it makes it easier for me to figure out where on my cleat is a 1x4 board that's going to be spanning this space. And the purpose of this cleat is so that if my closet rod hanger doesn't fall right on a stud like that, instead it's right here, the cleat will transfer the load to the stud there, and there, so it'll have more support for once you put, hundreds of pounds of clothes on it. So I've measured the distance that I want to cut, so I'm gonna make a 24 3/8 inch cleat here. This is some 1x4 primed wood, and I'm just gonna cut it, and I've marked on my wall where I want the bottom of my cleat to be, so all that'll be hidden once I put this in place. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other wall right there. So now I've got my cleat cut to length, and what I've done is I've just held it up in position to mark where I want to drill some pilot holes on it. I've got my pilot holes pre-drilled, and I've also put my screws into it already, so I don't have to find those when I'm putting this thing up in place. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to grab a level, and I'm going to be getting this guy right at the bottom of that tick mark right there. Now that we have our cleats mounted to the studs on either side, I took my measuring tape and I marked where my center line is. This is 12 1/4 off of this wall. Did the same thing here, 12 1/4 off, so I know where my center line is. And then I know the diameter of this is 2.5 inches. This is 3.5 inches. So if I want it centered this way, I'm gonna need to have 1/2 inch there, 1/2 inch there. So I marked where 1/2 inch is off the bottom. So now I just line this up on the bottom, and then I also line up this part right here so that I get that where my center line is. Now I'm going to drill my pilot holes, and we're going to fasten this into our cleat. Their pilot holes drilled on both cleats. Now I'm going to use a measuring tape, or you can use a laser finder. These help me out a lot. But basically, it'll just tells me I need to cut my rod to be 1.701 meters. All right, guys, this is the finished product, so hope this helps. And that thing seems to be on there pretty good. So if you are concerned, you can get these additional supports that would go around a midpoint, which I might do. The only caveat is that I made this about, call that 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch too far off this wall. So what that means is I'd have to undo that. So might do it, might not. Gonna ask the wife, see what she thinks. But yeah, so I hope this helps. Thanks all for watching, and take it easy.